Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a video. We've got a lot to go over. Before I start, I want to say this isn't a video saying everybody loves the Star Wars sequels. It's clear that they were divisive. It's about 50-50, I think. Maybe a little off on that number, but that's my take anyway. And yes, toy sales have slumped since the release of Force Awakens. Now, when I say sales, I'm talking Hasbro sales, and this is my beef with a lot of these online communities that want to focus all the blame on Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. They want to give a free pass to Hasbro while other toy companies with the Star Wars rights are seeing increased sales. So let's just get started. First, this video is going to focus on a group of, I believe, 4 people that love to complain about Star Wars on YouTube. They often tell you how Kathleen Kennedy was fired, or how she's now just the figurehead of Lucasfilm and has no real power. These guys are known as world-class bullshitters, a very good name for the YouTube channel, and maybe I'm being trolled. Maybe they're telling me right in the title that they're bullshitters, that's why they're uploading bullshit. But they started their channel in 2007. Long before the hip trend of hating on anything new, calling it woke, was a way to get views. They started out even doing Rickroll videos and other types of videos. That was until 2015, when they did their angry review of The Force Awakens. And they took some bold steps in that review, saying shocking things like it was a remake of A New Hope. Ooh, that's groundbreaking right there. They even said that Disney ruined Star Wars. How did they come up with it, I'll never know. This was one of their first really breakout hit videos, reaching almost 100,000 views. Hey, I would love to have that. As time went on, the hating Disney Star Wars bashing videos all over YouTube started to pick up steam, as many channels saw it as a quick ticket to easy views. Rather than make original content, or at least say something different when it comes to how Star Wars was ruined by Disney, all these channels mostly just parodied each other with the same old talking points. And this did pay off for world-class bullshitters, as they have reached over 100,000 subs on their channel. Congratulations, guys. I would be proud of that also. What put this gang on my radar was their bashing of Star Wars toys. And as you can guess, they blamed everything when it came to Star Wars toys on Disney. They would make video after video showing their mostly agreeable fans that Star Wars was dead because the toy sales were so bad. They would use many tactics to show how Star Wars toys were not selling because Star Wars was dead. Like one time they went to Toys R Us, a company that was losing sales for years and going out of business, to show that Star Wars was not selling at Toys R Us. That's like going to a burger shelf in 1996 and saying no one liked hamburgers anymore because they had some unsold ones at Burger Shelf. They also hit local discount stores. These stores, like Ollie's, or is it Ollie's? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. These specialty stores sell overproduced items at a lower cost. Their theory in these videos, if people still like Star Wars, these toys would have sold off at Walmart and Target and not end up at discount stores. These videos seem to be heavily edited, so you don't notice the other action figures in these discount stores. You know, like Marvel action figures, Spider-Man No Way Home figures, and more. If you saw these, you might question their theory that Star Wars toys don't sell, so they have to go to discount stores. Often they will bring up facts that Star Wars toys are not selling, so therefore it's dead. This is another line that is parodied by many of the so-called Phantom Menace channels. According to them, if a movie line action figure is not selling, then to them, fans didn't like that movie. So let's look at a few action figure lines that didn't sell well. Indiana Jones, both Raiders and Temple of Doom, Star Trek, Karate Kid, Tron, Dune, Commando, Clash of the Titans, Bill and Ted. I could go on, as most toy lines, even those from movies that have a fan base, don't sell very well. It's rare for an action figure line, even those based on a movie, to sell well. Now let's take a deeper look into their Star Wars is dead, cause no one buys the toys videos. But first, before you say, why are you making a video? Why are you attacking these guys? Why not debate these guys rather than make drama videos? Well, I did try that. I offered to come onto their live stream to debate the toy sales, but I was told by one of them, I believe his name was Ralph, but I'm not sure, that they only talk to people that they respect, which I took was a code word for they only talk with people that agree with them and as part of their echo chamber. Looking over their channel, I couldn't find them really debating with anyone that had a different point of view. And what about that line that they only talk to people that they respect? So I guess they respect a guy that starts YouTube drama every 3 months and hates everything and likes to report YouTube videos that mention him so they get taken down? Or they like a guy that just makes up Star Wars news over and over again? I guess that's what they can respect. The other day on Twitter, they posted an image of a rack of free comics, stating that no one wanted the new Star Wars High Republic comics and others on the rack, that the store was forced to make them free. I guess that was the point of their tweet. I'm not 100% sure on that, as most of the comics were clearly marked free comic book day comics. I don't care what comic title it is, anyone that knows anything about comic book stores know that they have barrels of free issues still around after free comic book day. These stay in stores for years. So I might have been missing a point of their tweet. Now, I'll be honest, the Star Wars High Republic comic book series looks like nothing I care to read. To me, just looking at the cover, it doesn't look like Star Wars. But it does seem like it's a good seller, so some people out there are buying it. But then I guess these guys here would say Disney's going around to comic book stores, buying up all the comic books to increase their sales. You know, like they were saying people was buying up movie tickets to Star Wars movies just to make a profit. Yes, people did say that. Now, going back to the Star Wars High Republic, I don't know much about the comics or if they really sell what they say they sell. What I know about is toys. On Twitter, the world-class bullshit guys linked me and some others to one of their videos. And rather than watching hundreds of their See Star Wars is Dead toy videos, I figured we'd break down the one they linked me to, as it was very misleading.
The following is a world-class bullshitters exclusive.
The other day I posted this image, which really resonated with me. It really resonated with you too, as nearly 3,000 people gave it a like and had a lot to say about it.
A photo of a toy section of Star Wars in 1999 versus 2019. Really can't compare these two, but they're gonna try. It would have been cool if they used a photo for 1978, but maybe that's just me being biased because I love the vintage stuff.
This image sparked a lot of discussion, which is good. I love a good debate. That's why I'm here. But a debate is not just one-sided. There are two sides to every debate, and now it's my turn to talk.
First, in this video, they say they love a good debate, yet when I ask to come on, or it seems anyone not part of their echo chamber, they are told no. Now, about the photo. They are posting it to show how small the toy section is for Star Wars in 2009 versus 1999. We all know, well, maybe not them, they were probably kids when the prequels came out, that Hasbro overproduced Star Wars toys in 1999. In fact, they made so much that stores had to return or mark down many of the Phantom Menace toys or send them to discount stores. Just using their theory alone, that means kids didn't like the Phantom Menace. For years, you could find the Phantom Menace toys marked down. Hasbro, however, did sell millions, and they even made a profit. But Hasbro did overproduce the toys. This is an issue Hasbro has had for many years, overproducing toys or not producing enough. It doesn't automatically mean fans hate the movie. There's a lot of facts into play here, and as we've seen with history, poor toy movie sales doesn't mean fans doesn't like the movie.
I decided to cover the decline of Star Wars toys when I tripped over a dusty Millennium Falcon in Toys R Us. From there, the rest is history.
Well, here they are again at Toys R Us. I already talked about that. It's not like it's shocking that overpriced toys don't sell at a place going out of business.
Now, I know you're all frothing at the mouth to talk about the pink elephant in the room, the fact that kids don't play with toys anymore, so why make them? Kids do play with toys, adults too, and I'm not talking about those kind. No matter who's buying them, toys have been on the rise for a while. Back in August, NPD put out a report about the rise of toy sales.
Now he talks about how toy sales are on the rise, as kids still buy toys. Listen closely. They use the word toy, and he uses the word toys on purpose. He doesn't want to use the word action figures or say action figures based on film or television show. Why is that? Well, it's because toy sales are rising, and a lot of these datas that count toy sales, they count in video games. If you look at just action figure, TV-related action figures, you'll see the market is declining. How do we know it's declining? Well, anyone can walk into a Walmart and see that. If you walked into any Walmart or maybe even Target store back in 2005, you were seeing the latest movie action figures span out on pegs in an 8-foot or more section. Today, walking into one of these stores, even if it's the biggest movie of the year, you're mostly only gonna get 4 feet and maybe an end cap. A lot of times, you won't even get a whole 4-foot section anymore. You'll get 2 feet at the most. Why is this? Well, it's because you need more than adult collectors to support a movie action figure line. Kids today, they're not into movie action figures. Sure, you might know a kid that is, but compare how kids were into action figures back in the early 80s, or let's say during the prequel era, it's not the same at all. Now, when it comes to action figures, there are some hot ones out there. The action figures based on video games, they're a top seller to boys. But the movie action figures are now selling to a more limited market and getting a lot less retail space as toy companies had to pay for this section in the stores. So it's true, Star Wars figures aren't selling like they used to, but neither are movie-based action figures on a whole.
Here's a chart that shows the decline in Star Wars toy interest since 2005, way back at the beginning of Google Trends. If you look closely, it really tanks when Disney takes over in 2013 and Hasbro cuts all the corners to make more of a profit.
Now they're showing charts of people that search on Google for the word Star Wars toy. I'm not really sure why this matters. I mean, I don't know anyone that searches the term Star Wars toys, but let's just go with what they're showing. The first thing you'll notice is that they're only showing the results of Star Wars toys. They don't bring up a chart, like this one here, showing Star Wars Lego, as it goes against their Star Wars is dead, no one likes Star Wars. Again, it's them trying to shift the blame all to Disney or Kathleen Kennedy for destroying Star Wars. They put no blame on Hasbro. Even for the trends for Star Wars Hot Wheels, you'll see the search is a lot different. Why is it Star Wars Hot Wheels are selling well, Star Wars Legos are selling well, but not Hasbro toys? Is it really all the fault of Disney, or could Hasbro share some of the blame?
Now remember folks, Star Wars is for the adult collector who wants accuracy. Shunning the standard of quality to try and sell to kids hurts the brand, and that was a Disney call.
In this part, they say Disney made the call that made the figures cheaper. I don't know where Disney would even come into play saying they had to make them cheaper. In fact, the more they sell them for, the more money Disney will get. So it really doesn't make much sense, and they don't really even show anything to back this up. But I guess it was all the evil Kathleen Kennedy's fault, and she demanded Hasbro make them cheaper and uglier. Now I could get into how much Hasbro got screwed on their Star Wars license deal, and what percentage Disney takes and Hasbro takes, but I did a whole video on that, and to repeat all that again would take a long time. So I'll just link to that video at the end of this one. So let's move on.
Well, everybody says that the sequel trilogy got bigger and bigger and better and better. Well, how was Force Friday 2019? That's it. That's all they had to offer. What really happened? Where did all the people go? Where did all the Star Wars fans go? What happened between 2015 and 2019 that already changed?
Again, he forgets or fails or doesn't know to bring up all movie tie-in toys are losing sales between that time period. The retail space even got smaller at stores. But he did remind us that the prequels had a huge push and the sales got a lot less and less. Let me break it down. When The Phantom Menace came out in 1999, what other movies did it have to fight against Toy Space? The biggest movie toy lines of 1999 was Tarzan, Toy Story 2, Wild Wild West. Out of all these, Toy Story was the only one to give Star Wars any real competition. The others wasn't anything really special. What about 2003 with the release of Attack of the Clones? In the toy aisles that year, the Hulk action figure line, Finding Nemo toys, X-Men 2, and that was about it for action figure toys based on movies in 2003. Well, what about 2005? You had some Harry Potter action figures, Batman Begins, Fantastic Four, robots. That's about it. Now let's see about the sequel era. 2015, you had Jurassic World, Avengers, Inside Out, Minions, Cinderella. Out of the top 10 movies that year, 7 had an action figure line. What about 2017? Other than The Last Jedi, you had Beauty and the Beast, Wonder Woman, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man, Thor, Despicable Me. Out of those top 10, almost every movie had a toy line. What about 2019? You had Avengers, Lion King, which I think may have toys, I'm not 100% sure on that. Toy Story number 4, Frozen 2, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Aladdin. 9 out of the top 10 movies that year had an action figure line. And this doesn't even take up for the other action figure lines at the store at the time. The market in the prequel era was so much different. Kids maybe had 3, maybe 4 toy lines from a movie to buy up. But in this day and age, at least before COVID, they seemed like there was a hit movie every month.
Clearly, it's video games. Well, no, it's not. There's a lot more. As stated earlier, we are in the digital age. 2015 to 2019, that wasn't really that big of a jump.
And yes, what about smartphones and tablets? 19% of kids had their own phone in 2019. And this was not true during the prequel. It wasn't even an issue in 2015 when 11% had a phone. The landscape for the prequels to the sequels are not the same, and you can't compare the two. Now, do kids love the Star Wars sequel as much as kids love the original and maybe the prequels? No, I don't think so. But I also think they just don't get into stuff, at least movies, the way they used to. Back in the 80s when I grew up, there was maybe 2, maybe 3 movies that came out that would have kind of overtaken your life. You wanted everything you could, clothes and toys and all that from them. With the prequel eras was about the same. But by 2015, by the sequel era, you had a blockbuster movie that kids were buying toys for and getting into about every month. So that love for it that lasted over and over and over just wasn't there anymore. Kids move on a lot sooner now. Now you watch a movie, you get into it, buy some toys from it. 2 months later, it's the next movie to be all into, and kids move on. My issue with these people that blame everything on Disney Star Wars is that they give a free pass to Hasbro, who overproduces toys or underproduces toys. And they make really crappy toys with a high price tag. They blame it all on Kathleen Kennedy, but they don't see how Star Wars Legos are having great sales. And they even fail to mention how Hasbro has seen an increase in sales in 2019 and 2022. Of course, kids aren't buying Star Wars like they did in the 80s. Kids aren't buying Star Wars like they did during the prequel era. But this is a different time we live in. It's not because Kathleen Kennedy ruined Star Wars. It's because the market has changed when it comes to movie action figure lines. Kids today, at a younger age, are just moving on from action figures. When I was a kid, kids would play with action figures till they're about 14, maybe even 15 years old. Today, the average age the kids stop buying action figures is 8 years old. Now, is it all Hasbro's fault? Is there no love for the sequels? Again, I think it's about 50-50. I think even kids that liked the movie saw it and moved on. As for the adult collectors, they just don't get into the sequel stuff like they did with the movies they grew up on. But who knows, in 20 years from now, the kids that grew up on the sequel movies might love the sequel stuff. There was a time when you could hardly find anyone that liked the prequels. And now that those kids are adults, they're asking for more prequel toys. And sure, some of the blame can be put on Disney and Kathleen Kennedy for not having a good plan when it comes to making the Star Wars sequels. They just kind of made it up as they went along, which George Lucas did also. But George Lucas was smart enough to make it look like he had a plan. And I have no problem with blaming Disney or Kathleen Kennedy. My problem is when you put all the blame on those two, rather than put some of the blame on Hasbro. World-class bullshitters? Again, they do have some good points, but they edit out some facts, or skip it altogether, and go right to the talking points about how Disney ruined Star Wars. And that's just not the case. Star Wars is still popular today. The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, even if you may not like them, they're hit television shows. Even the sequels, if you don't like them, you can't deny that they made billions of dollars. Even The Last Jedi, that people screamed that no one liked, was the top-selling home disc release for that year. At the same time, it was free on Netflix. I know people say, well, they just want to complete their collection. Well, it doesn't make much sense, because if you're just buying a movie to complete your set and you hated it, you think you would wait till find it used somewhere instead of buying it at a retail cost. But I'll say again, I have nothing against these guys or the angry YouTubers. They're doing their thing, and they're doing better at YouTube than even I am. I just wish a lot of these Phantom Menace guys and the world-class bullshitters would debate others or hear from others. Stop blaming it all on Disney and Kathleen Kennedy. Have someone on your show. Don't say, I don't let people on my show that I disrespect. Just get out of your echo chamber, and you might see there's more to this than Kathleen Kennedy is bad. Well, I want to thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below how bad Kathleen Kennedy is, how I'm wrong all about this, and would you like to see me debate world-class bullshitters? Hey, I'm still up for it if they are. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up on my content. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.